And our most recent project has been to publish our first book. And I'm going to hand over just now to Diane, who's going to introduce it, because today is the launch of that book.
Yes. Yes. And we are really excited. If you knew how quickly this came together and the phenomenal support from the University of Lapland to get this done, it really was quite the effort. And so we'll do this pretty quickly, but first we need to acknowledge that 3 of us sitting here were editors, but there is a 4th editor who is off enjoying the next phase of her adventure in life, Jenny Spratt. And so we have to share with you that's from her retirement party, but she's being a grandma, she's bird watching, she's doing yoga, and she, I don't think she really misses us a whole lot.
She doesn't miss it at all.
No, so, but we do want to acknowledge she played an important part in this book. So briefly, first of all, there are copies of the book here, and we hope that people who are interested will take a copy, and also the conclusions of the project that was done. This was actually the Finnish Arctic Council Chairmanship Sustainable Development Working Group project. I got everything right. And there's actually multiple projects that we have managed to bring together with this, which has been really exciting too. It's a very active and creative group of people that are involved. And but for the book in particular, when we put out the call, we were not prescriptive in how people should approach the topic of inclusion and equity. And we didn't want to create a uniform set of indicators of equity and inclusion, or even try to define these concepts across the national context. Instead, we wanted authors to bring to bear their own expertise and their own perspectives. And the result is a work that really reflects the diversity not only of our local and national context, but also of the field of education, research, and practice, as well as the broader disciplinary lenses that all of us use when we ground our own work. And so we've got kind of 3 broad areas, or 3 commonalities that seem to be emerging depending on which set of countries you look at in here. We really had as we said, there were different approaches, and so in some cases the chapters focus very much on inclusion for children with special needs. And that was in particular the Finland, Norway, and Iceland chapters. And then we had others that were focusing much more on the issues of indigeneity and post-colonialism. And these were Alaska, Canada, Greenland, and the Sami chapter. And then we had chapters that were looking at socioeconomic and political issues. In particular, that was England and Scotland, the UK, England, Scotland. And then governance and student empowerment, which was the Sweden chapter, and then the multiculturalism, that is Russia. But I think altogether, it really was this really amazing journey through thinking about different ways of looking at inclusion and equity, as well as beginning to understand commonalities across our regions. I'm going to hand it to you for the final chapter. Oh, yes. Yes.
And because we realized we were taking a very northern perspective on all these issues, we decided that for the final chapter we would invite a very good critical friend of ours in the thematic network, Sue Dockett, who works in Australia. And what she did was, when we had the first drafts in of all the chapters, she read them all and gave us a southern perspective on looking at education through southern eyes, which I think adds even more to the richness of the book. And she did it at very, very short notice, after she had also retired. There's something about being in our network that you retire soon after.
Yes.
So we hope that if you're interested, you would take one of the books and enjoy reading each of the chapters. And that's the book launch.
Yes.
Yay! So I'd like to thank audience for your questions and your participation, and also the panel for your very, very interesting presentations and responses to questions. Thank you all very much. It's been really enjoyable.